Some may call me crazy. Some may say that I am mad. I am insane in the membrane. Shout out Cypress Hill. But I'm going to just tell you a few things that may anger a few people, ruffle a few feathers. But let me just explain this to you. I speak fluent football. I've always spoken fluent football. Manchester City have won this tie. You can say jinx, reverse jinx, double psychology. I have already seen enough in this tie to say that City are going to win this. We're going to talk about Vinicius Jr. I'm going to talk about Vinny. We're going to talk about De Bruyne. We're going to talk about Benzema. We're going to talk about Benzema. I'm even touch about Haaland. But heritage is always a key. It's always a factor. But there is only so much heritage can do. Because when your time is up, your time is up. And people need to understand this. Everything that has a beginning has an end. Every single empire that has existed in history has always fallen. Nothing lasts forever. Nothing always stays the same. And I do believe that this Real Madrid side have shown amazing courage, amazing heritage, and amazing quality. But I just feel this is a bridge too far. And with this result, and with Kevin De Bruyne getting a huge clutch goal, that's the Bruyne goal for me, pretty much has decided this tie. But let's talk about it. Benzema sold his soul to the devil. I know that may seem so strange, but Benzema sold his soul to the devil. And for me, I feel that the sacrifice that Benzema made was worth it. It was worth it. I would do the same, you would do the same. What was his sacrifice? Take my life, take my blood, take my family's blood, give me a La Liga, give me the greatest individual performance in a UCL knockout stage, and also give me a Ballon d'Or as well. Now, a walk would have been fine, a World Cup would have been cool, but that was his sacrifice. Benzema's sacrifice is why Real Madrid cannot beat Man City in this time. That's sort of part one. That is sort of part one. Now, here is the reality. Now, guys, bear with me. So, guys, if bring out your Google Translate because I'm going to be speaking fluent ball. I'm speaking fluent football right now. Fluent football, so please keep up right now. City don't need Haaland to beat Real Madrid. Real Madrid need Benzema to beat Man City. And with Benzema sacrificing himself for the Ballon d'Or and that's UCL, Benzema has been a non-factor, ergo Real Madrid cannot beat Man City. That's fluent ball. That's fluent ball. And you can't argue with that. It's fluent ball. You can't argue what? It's fluent ball. Because Haaland was a non-factor in this game. Haaland was a non-factor in this game. Now, let's be real. They were both non-factors. But, guys, this is not a 90 minutes game. It's a 180 minutes game. And the thing, though, is even if Haaland doesn't say what's up in the second leg, you can see that De Bruyne can get it. Grealish can get it. Bro, Alvarez can get it. Alvarez can say what's up. What has shocked me for Real Madrid is, as much as they forced the issue, it's Vini or bust. Guys, let's keep it a stack bundle. I love Rodrigo. I love that dude, and we all saw what he did last year. But I cannot rely upon Rodrigo the way we could rely upon Benzema. And if it's just a Rodrigo and a Vini at the Etihad, that ain't enough to beat this Man City side. It ain't enough, baby. It's not enough. It's not enough. There was a crucial moment in this game. And this is what's decided this tie for me. Like, this is the moment that decided the tie. Second half, Real Madrid had corner after corner after corner. Was it a handball on Grealish? That ball did touch stones and should have gone for yet another corner. Both things did happen. City get the thing, and this is where it decided the tie. City just needed to go out of nowhere. They were getting outplayed, out-hustled, they were being put under pressure, and they were totally out of the game. They were fully under pressure, and everyone knew it. Real had them. Real get a second goal during that momentum push. Then this title is looking very interesting right now, and now the pressure's on City. Real Madrid had to score when they had that momentum, and they didn't. And what you then saw is De Bruyne. That could be the one of the most important. If City end up winning this UCL, that goal by De Bruyne is going to be one of the key moments. And let's be real, I have never been the biggest De Bruyne fan. I think he's an industry plant. I think he's overrated. And I blame him for costing Eden Hazard a World Cup in 2018. So these are the facts of life that I put towards De Bruyne. These are the allegations and the charges I put forth on Kevin De Bruyne. It is what it is. But I'm a football analyst. And being the GOAT analyst, I've got to keep it a stack. That was clutch. You see, clutch is when your team is playing well. You're away from home. Things aren't going your way. You're out of rhythm. Gid. This is no time for rhythm. We can't look for the clipboard. Just save us. And that's bullet. Because, guys, that was a bullet. That's bullet from De Bruyne. First, for that, no keeper in the world is saving that. You cannot hit a ball as sweetly or as supremely as what De Bruyne did. And with that, for me, that changed the context of this time. Because them getting that goal with Real getting all of the momentum, it changed the psychology of the whole side. So that was a key clutch goal from De Bruyne. And De Bruyne, I see you. That's clutch. KDB, when your team needed you the most, not when things are going well or so, not against those bombs in the EPL, when your team needed you at the Bernabeu against Real Madrid, when things were not going well, you came through and you came clutch. So KDB, I see you. I see you. But guys, this is the difference between Haaland and Vini. Don't worry, guys, I'll bring you guys in. Let me just give my sermon and I'll bring you guys. This is the difference between Vini and Haaland. I've seen enough to say Vini is the best player in the world. Shout out to your boy Kivicha. You've done anything and everything. Vini is the best footballer in the world right now. What Vini did tonight was football. Let me take a drink. You see, shout out to your systems. Shout out to your stats mention. Vini says half hope was still here. Vini said, no, half hope was old school still lives. Vini says half hope, old school still lives. Old school still lives. Still lives. Because, guys, the goal was outstanding. Modric, Camavinga with his beautiful and amazing, graceful balance, and then that stupendous goal. So, but put the goal to one side. It was an amazing goal. That strike was ridiculous. But look at how Vini was carrying this team. Everything good that Real Madrid did came from Vini. Everything good that they did, it came from Vini. And that is the definition of taking the game by the scruff of the neck and really leading the line as an individual. Neymar, are you watching? Because I'm sorry, as of right now, the Number one Brazilian is Vini. It ain't Neymar. The junior that I respect, the only junior that I know is Vini. It ain't Neymar. Because I told you, I'm going to be speaking fluent ball. But the issue is this. Vini can't do it by himself. He can't do it by himself. Like, Vini is going to cause issues. Because you saw at the end of the game, like Vini and Walker, they both embraced. Because Walker knew that, I see you. I see you. You got me, I got you, I see you. But Vini can't do it by himself. And I don't think Rodrigo is enough of a co-partner. He'll need a Benzema to say what's up. Because I feel that for City, if they say all we have to worry about is the volcano that is Vini, we can ride. We can ride. So without Benzema being a feature, it makes things a bit much more difficult. So guys, looking at the context of this, guys, anybody can still win. 1-1 is finally poised. So nobody's winning. It didn't say 3-1 or a 4-1. So the second leg is still very much alive. So really, remember, there are no more away goals. Real, you win, you go through. City, you win, you go through. So it's all square, it's all easy. No calculations need to be done. But I feel that, here's the thing. I feel that there is 2 or 3 more gears that City can go up to. That's the thing. That's why Real had to win. Because City can be like, that was not our best game. That was nowhere near our best game. And in the second half, we got cooked, but we survived. Because let's be real, City could have very much been down 2 or 3. So for City, they'll say that we have a few more gears to go up to, and we're going back to the crib. We're going back to the crib. So that's something. So if you're Real Madrid now, I'm sorry, Benzema's going to give you something. Benzema has to give you something. Now, shout out to Rudiger and Alaba. They were great. I thought Rudiger did an awesome job on Haaland. Both of them did. Both of them, they did an awesome job because people were saying, what could they do? Rudiger and Alaba, they did a superb job to keep Haaland quiet because they kept him quiet. So Rudiger and Alaba, superb. They were absolutely superb. But I just feel that Man City know that, oh no, we can beat these guys. We can play much better. We have another gear to go to. And we know that we have a lot more weapons at our disposal. And the City can know that, no, we can play better. And Pep will know that we did not play to the best of our abilities. We can play faster, quicker, we can be far more inventive, far more imaginative, and even far braver. Because let's be real, it's the first leg. So City know that it's a first leg. Yeah, we want to go out and say what's up, but this is first leg. We don't need to, excuse the expression, shoot our load. We don't need to bust our load totally in our first leg. Pause. I know, pause. Triple pause. Second leg, we can pop off. So guys, if I send out that link and so forth, let's see what happens. You can't count out Real Madrid. You can't count out Real Madrid. It's Real Madrid. But for me, I'm seeing age. I saw age. From Modric and Toni Kroos, I saw age creeping. I saw a bit of age creeping because the young boys are doing their thing. Rodrigo, Vini, Kama. I mean, gosh, Kama. I don't know. Kamavinga is just a talent. I cannot believe that man is 20. I cannot believe. Wait, hold up. Let me just. He can't wait. Hold up. He can't be 20. No. He's 21 in November. Guys, this dude is 20. And he is playing like a supreme veteran. Bro, can the arguments be made that Kamavinga is the most talented young player in the world? He's playing left back. And he's playing left back better than most natural left backs in terms of defending, balance, bringing the ball up, dribbling, decision making. This talent is insane. He is an insane talent, and he's supposed to be a freaking central midfielder, but he's popping up as a freaking left back. The heck? 20. 20. You see, I don't even know what to say, man. I think last thing, and then I'll bring guys in. Unless Benzema can rekindle something, Real cannot beat Man City without Benzema being at the best of his game, and I just think that Benzema is now slowly becoming on the decline now. I just think the best of Benzema just reached his peak and its plateau last season. So Vinny is still going to be Vinny, and Vinny is outstanding. I said, Vinny is that freaking dude, and don't. It doesn't matter how many goals Haaland can score. Haaland can score 3,000 goals, 5,000 goals. Haaland is not a good a player as Vinny. So Haaland can score all the goals in the world. He will never be as good as a football player as Vinicius, first of his name, Junior. It's just never happening. That's not my opinion. That's not my viewpoint. That is a scientific footballing fact. So you just cannot deny that, man. So look, man. Let me bring in the boys and then I'll take it. So let me send the link, man. It's time. Let me send the link to you guys, man. So let me send in that link and see what the streets are saying, man. Let's see what those streets are saying. So bear with me, guys. I'll tell you when I post that link. Man. So look, man. It should be interesting. All right. Let's see. Okay, Twitter, can you please get your ass going, man? All right, hold up. There we go. All right. So, guys, the link is out there. So, link to join is out there, guys. The link to join is out there. So, head over to Twitter. The link to join is out there, man. The link to join is out there. Man. All right, so hold up, man. The link to join is out there. All right, so let me go to Ricardo. What do we say, man? What do we say?
I think you're not giving Real Madrid enough credit. That's what I think.
Wait, how did I be no? Okay, so do you think I'm wrong in saying that Benzema is no longer at his best, and without Benzema at his best, they can't beat Man City without Benzema being a real factor?
Look, I said this about Benzema. I was the first person to say that Benzema sold his soul to the devil for a blunder. And as far as I'm aware, I've been right so far. Could he cook in the second leg? He could cook. Well, right now he hasn't been cooking all season, other than dropping a hat trick against that small club Barcelona. But,
wow.
No, but you have to give credit to Real Madrid. I think Real Madrid went out there with more of a game plan than Man City did. Not only that, when we're having conversations in the group chat, we're talking about Carvajal,
yeah, but
right?
Ricardo, the score is 1-1.
No, but hear me out. You are right that like Man City should have been better tonight. I don't disagree. They should have been better. But personally, the way I see it, I think Man City played the way they played because of how well Real Madrid played defensively. I can't always be like, oh, it was an off day for Man City. Man City is probably the most consistent team. So when they finally have a game that they're off rhythm, are we just going to say, oh, it was an off day? No, the common denominator there was that Real Madrid were just good on the night. They frustrated Real Madrid. They had a bit, Carvajal led the dirty tactics. And to be honest, I liked what I saw from Carvajal.
Oh, no, come on. That's his pure football heritage.
That's nothing but football. Anybody who complains about what Carvajal did tonight, I'm afraid to tell you, but you've probably never played football before. Those little
at a high level.
You know what it is though? It's a psychological aspect. I see something I've never seen from Man City before. I felt like Man City was scared of Real Madrid today.
They definitely were. They thought they were just going to cruise there because we have Haaland. He's dropping a 90-goal season.
They were scared, bro.
Rudiger, Militao is not playing. Look, I'll make the argument that maybe Militao shouldn't play the second leg because he has been.
I was even thinking that because it's a dangerous thing to do because you're like, okay, like this seems to have worked. Is this going to work again in the second leg, or should we just go with what's tried and tested?
To be fair, it's because more so Militao hasn't been on form the last few games. I mean, he hasn't just been playing well, and you could argue after that Rudiger performance, maybe you double down on him because the worst case scenario is that they go in the second leg, Rudiger doesn't play, and Haaland turns up. Now, in my opinion, I've always said this, I've always believed this. Today's performance in a game of this magnitude is the reason why you can never say Erling Haaland will ever be the best player in the world. I'm sorry. I don't care how many goals this guy scores. He will never be the best player in the world. I don't care. It's like this. You can be good at what you do. You can score a million goals. That's fine, but you're great at scoring goals. It's the same thing with defenders. Like, for example, Chiellini. Leonardo Bonucci was a far better player
Oh
because
yeah,
his
yeah, yeah,
passing
yeah.
range was amazing. But as a defender, his defensive abilities, Chiellini was second to none. He was amazing. It's the same thing with Holland, just on the other end of the field. When I'm looking at Vinicius, to me, top three player in the world, you could argue he's the best. It is undoubtedly top three. Right now, he's better than Mbappe. I'll always prefer to watch Vinicius over Holland. I mean, that's not even up for
Oh, for
debate.
sure. Come
There's
on,
a
for sure,
players
for
I'll
sure,
pick
like
over
for sure.
Holland. And to me, I'll say this: I don't even think some of you are not gonna like this. I don't even think Holland is City's best player. I have a bias towards playmakers. I still think that team is still Kevin De Bruyne's team, and not because he scored today. It's because playmakers make things
Oh
happen.
no, 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 no. I think look, I don't. Anybody that understands football will never say Haaland is City's best player. He is just a goal scoring freak. But as I say, the guy that makes them tick really is De Bruyne. And when he's on form, Silva, better than Silva.
Bernardo
And
Silva.
even Gundogan. So those are
I,
guys where, like, when they're on form, Gundogan, De Bruyne, and Silva, those are the guys that define
for
City and make
sure.
them play.
I would actually say in today's game, Bernardo Silva is the one that impressed me the most. He looked calm, poised, and that period from the start of the second half to pretty much up to De Bruyne scored, Madrid looked way closer to getting a second goal than
Oh, for
City were
sure.
getting a first. And in that whole like sequence of play, I thought Bernardo Silva was the
No, no,
calmest
no,
player
but
on
also,
City.
again, I'm sure Paul is going to look at this. That should have been a corner.
Which one?
Because if you know when it's grazed stones,
I
and
don't
then
remember exactly the
in
play.
the next phase of play, because they would
Yeah,
say,
yeah,
wait,
yeah.
Yeah,
because
but those things don't get called all the time. There's reports saying that in City's goal, the ball went out. I mean,
Yeah,
is
it's
it?
out. But
oh yeah,
I mean, it is what it is. I mean,
yeah.
VAR. Like I said, nothing's wrong with VAR. It's the people who use VAR. Like, I mean, am I surprised it happened? No, but I want to give praise to obviously Vinicius, incredible player, like proper Brazilian.
Yeah, look,
Like
look,
he's
look,
making people like me who enjoy
Ricardo.
football
The
that way.
only junior I recognize is Vinny, not Nene.
Okay, hold on.
No,
Let's.
no, no,
He
Ricardo.
might,
No,
he
no,
might
no,
be, he might
no,
be a
no,
Chelsea
no,
player.
Ricardo,
He might
Ricardo.
be a
We're
Chelsea
going
player.
there, and we are there. I'm
Okay.
sorry. No. Ricardo. Nene is not as good as Vinny right now. As of right
Well,
now,
yeah,
Lele,
obviously.
Lele.
Well, hold on. Well,
Nene.
I mean, obviously. Will Vinicius ever reach the player Neymar was? I don't know. Personally, I don't think so. But I think Vinicius is gonna have a better career. There's no way he doesn't have a better
Yep.
career.
Yeah.
Camavinga, extraordinary player. Like this is the one thing that pissed me off. It was about Pep Guardiola. To me, Gucci Graylish, he was getting cooked. He did nothing. Like there were so many times they were playing through Kamavinga's side the whole game. And on the other end of the field, you see Grealish playing touchline. Like, bro, get in behind Carvajal. Like, test him. Like, he's been punking you the whole game. You have to do something. You gotta win something back. That's why I mean Carvajal's dirty play won him that battle. I thought Julian Alvarez should have came on for Grealish a long time
I
ago.
thought he was going to come on because I thought because I was like, okay, wait, when is he going to bring him on? Because Haaland just was not working in this game.
Yeah, Grealish to me, like he's a good player, but tonight wasn't his night. Carvajal, that guy stinks in La Liga, but when it comes to cup competitions, when it comes to turning up for Real Madrid, he's a Spanish Cafu. I don't know how the hell that guy does it, but he just does it. Real Madrid tonight, honestly, in my opinion, probably deserved to win. I thought they were tactically better. I felt like that game had another goal in it. Chouameni, good shot, but ultimately too short. And something we need to talk about Real Madrid's medical team or Modric's what's it called, hamstrings, because there ain't no way that guy made it back in 5 days after like apparently tearing his ass.
it wasn't
It's-
hamstring actually.
Wasn't it? It was like a muscle, a quad or
Yeah.
something.
It was like of the face of a muscle.
Okay,
It was-
CBD oil. He might have used CBD oil.
So
Guys,
let me
soft
come
bud, man.
so Paul. So
Listen,
are
I
you
told
happy?
you.
Are you happy with the results?
I'm very happy, and it's not about the result. I mean, look, you have to understand something, and I know you actually do. I know you have to do the. I know you have what you're doing. Okay, but listen, when you have the two best teams in the world playing, okay, you don't care about the scoreline. You don't care about the scoreline. It's all about what you see happening in the game. Why? Especially in such a short in a draw. It doesn't matter. Like, okay, sure, as I said, City is going to have an advantage in Etihad, but Madrid is not going to get affected by it, right?
Oh, no,
So it's
sure,
not going to be
yeah.
that big. And having said that, for me, having what kind of game happened today, and if I was confident, and everyone and a lot of people in the chat was like, Paul, whatever. If I was confident before this tie, I'm even more confident next one, because it's not about playing home. And again, it's not about that. It's about what we saw today is that we were able to get out of their press. One of the main problems that we had the other year. Easy, done. Haaland was absolutely nullified, not even with our starting center back. And I tell you, Militao has been better, despite these two last games, has been better than Rudiger today. So that shows you the levels of Militao. So either a Militao or Rudiger, I also have the same doubt, who should play. I actually think Rudiger should be rewarded and trusted. And if not, you just get Militao on and
What about Militao at right back? Paul, Militao at right back.
No, Carvajal is playing.
Why
right
not?
back.
Carvajal was awful.
What an awful!
No,
he
he was
punked
bullying Grealish.
Awful.
you.
What?
He punked
He was
your wing.
pushing on the ground.
He
He was a
bullied.
liability. If
What?
like, he's a liability, I saw him as a liability. in
What?
my opinion.
Who is gonna
Wait,
make?
how
Who's gonna
do
make?
how do you see
Look,
Carvajal
no,
as a
wait,
Yeah, I
liability?
don't. We didn't watch the same game because
Yeah, we watched the same. We watched
you
the
had-
next.
I saw him as a
left wing-
liability.
Listen, no. If you had the left wing Mahrez, okay, I wouldn't play Carvajal. But having Grealish, it's another midfielder.
No,
I
Mara
don't
should have
care
come
where
on.
he's from.
Mara should have come on. No, Mara should have come on as soon as possible.
I think he's saving guns for the second tie, and I think Carlos is also saving some guns. We also have Ceballos back as a good sub. We'll have more legs in the midfield. Look, for me, this was a masterclass of how to handle a first tie in this kind of games. I think this game was played, and I know. Look, and I don't want to take anything out from City. They did a well enough game. Obviously, not at their best. I think City can play much better. Although I think Madrid nullified them. But this, to me, I'm not nervous at all because this was a masterclass of how you handle a first tie.
No, so,
Madrid never played to first
Paul, let me say this, Paul. So you don't feel that Benzema has to be a
Benzema
key
hasn't
factor
been
in the
that
second
bad.
leg?
Benzema hasn't been that bad. I think he made Vinicius and Rodrigo play a lot. He could have played better, definitely. It looked like Madrid had another goal on them. Yeah, but to be honest, again, like Kroos had a good game. Modric was a little bit lackluster. Honestly, again, I should make receipts, HH, and all of you. Don't worry.
Oh.
No. I heard some City fans in other channels, okay, saying that Camavinga is not like this is not La Liga, this is not Osasuna. Silence, okay, silence. Because today Bernardo Silva, who was very good, to be honest, I remember one action from Bernardo Silva that won Camavinga, and that was that very good technical action of the spin. I remember the name of that move. But
Pirouette.
the pirouette. Okay, the pirouette. Above that, besides that, Camavinga managed that left back very well all through game, and not only that, he created the goal, and then Vinicius. Well, not he created the goal. He was half the goal, and the other half Vinicius just made a Cristiano goal. Like, I think Benzema is gonna be at his physical peak for the second leg. I think Modric he may not play because I'm actually guessing he forced today and he's gonna be out for months. And HH, I told now I'm talking to Real Madrid, to my fellow Madridistas. I told you to be calm, trust in this team, trust Ancelotti, even though I have attack nerves from him. But you know what, bro? How can we not be confident? And I told you, this team is something else. It's not about the scoreline.
No, Paul.
It's not about
I
the
mean, look,
scoreline.
I agree. No, you should be convert. My real but again, I don't think you actually fully answered me before I come to Abdallah. Paul, I feel Benzema has to be a major factor in that second leg for you to win. Vinny and Rodrigo can't do it on their own as the attacker. Benzema has got to be key. And I just feel that Benzema peaked and, as Ricardo says, sold his soul to the devil and so forth.
My guy peaked and dip. My guy peaked and dip.
Well, I mean, he also sold his soul for Barcelona, I guess, because
He did.
No, come on, Javi tax. Okay, wait, let me come to Abdallah. I'll take your tops. Abdallah, talk to me. Thoughts on this first leg?
To be honest, once that goal, which was a great goal from Vinny, I think you could argue he's probably on form right now. I think he's the best player in the world.
Yes.
In terms of ability, and the way he's scoring goals as well.
He has a first touch.
Yeah. So fair enough. I do fear him It was expected. I gave up after that first goal. I was like, we're not getting into this. They're very disciplined, Real Madrid, and I don't. That goal was you. There's that part of me who says it was a fluke of a goal because the amount of space from KDB.
Fluke.
A fluke of a goal because
I know, yeah, brother. I mean, yeah. Let me just.
I don't know.
No, just let me do it.
Bro, that was a
But
nice
defensively, like I've said this for years about our defense, it is overrated. We can't defend 400 million on this defense, and we can't defend. We should be cutting out simple mistakes. Rodri was misplacing passes left, right, and center. Our finishing wasn't on, and people weren't finding Haaland. That's the problem. Like, if you're not getting the ball to Haaland, then how are we supposed to finish off our chances? I generally thought we were going to go into the second leg being 1-0 down or a couple of goals down, to be quite honest. But the club need to start finding Pep because he doesn't make any subs. It's actually, I think he's allergic to subs. I don't know what he's waiting for. He complains about the fixture congestion when they're tired, but he doesn't make any subs. It makes no sense.
But okay, cool.
Make subs.
This and so forth. But 1-1. Are you feeling confident on that result? And what is
It's 50-50. It's 50-50, but it's Real Madrid. It's Real Madrid. Like, to be fair, we haven't been beaten at the Etihad since Lyon, so that's 5 years ago. And fun fact,
5 years.
As well.
Okay.
And fun fact, Arteta was in charge in that game. That's the reason why we lost.
Abdullah, can I ask you a question? When's the
Yes.
last time Liverpool lost at Anfield in the Champions League?
What,
Real
this
Madrid.
year? This year.
Real Madrid.
Even this year.
This year in Real Madrid. That's the only team that beat them at
Yeah,
Anfield.
but they played us last year. We didn't lose to
Yeah, but you're talking about
lose to them at the
Liverpool.
Etihad.
Okay, wait. So let me come to Smoke, then I'll take your dubs and I'll come to everyone else. So Smoke, talk to me, bro. Smoke, you said 3-1.
Yeah, I think we need to give credit to Madrid, right? The thing is, I think two things can be right at the same time. Madrid actually played better than I expected. Right. Cruz had a good game.
Yeah.
Camavinga hats off to him. Right. I think he basically nullified Bernardo. Bernardo couldn't get past him, even with the overloads that they tried with KDB. I think Modric also played well in that role next to Camavinga because he was actually covering the overlapping runs of what you call this, of De Bruyne. But I think the player who let us down today was Gundo. Gundo was horrible, right? And if you watch, basically the midfield couldn't tick because of Gundo. Rodri was basically there mostly on his own because Gundo was misplacing balls and stuff. And shout out to Rudiger, right? The dark arts still work. That elbow he gave Gundo, basically it's similar to the KDB.
The UCL final. The UCL final.
Yeah, basically Gundo.
Yeah, he doesn't like Man City. For some reason, he doesn't like Man City.
He did it to his own. He did it to his own national teammate, man. He doesn't care.
But then Rudiger's a roadman, so. But I think we have to give them credit. Now for me though, I feel as if it's a missed chance for Madrid because they had the momentum to score.
Yes.
And I said it earlier. What will determine is how we react after Madrid scores the goal. Because I knew they will score, but how we react after, because they had the momentum, and I was actually impressed in the sense that we didn't crumble like we did last year. Because you could have easily considered 2 or 3 in that moment, because that's when they came on us. And what's funny is they scored when we were playing well, while we scored when they were playing well. That was the funny thing about today's game. Because second half, they had us on the ropes.
Yeah.
Right. Bernardo lost his head for a moment. He was just basically, he lost concentration. And shout out to Walker. Because Walker made Vinny have to play inside. Because that's where Vinny was getting the joy. Vinny wasn't going out wide anymore. And it shows that our middle of the park was lacking. And I said it earlier to Paul, the game will be determined how both teams defend their boxes. And that's how both goals came from outside the box, whereby players were able to shoot. Because the midfield, although Kroos and Modric are old, they still have enough quality, right, to keep the ball and play around City. And funny enough, yes, let me just make one point.
Yes.
The thing though which people understand is in our previous rounds we drew both games away from home. That's been Pep's tactic. Against Leipzig, we drew 1-1. It was a boring game. We came back and we smoked them 7. At Bayern, we drew 1-1 as well. Pep has been very conservative away from home this season, and that's the tactic that he's been playing. So I think it's a lesson is learned from previous seasons, because previous seasons we go and we go all out and we concede. Whereby now Pep, and I'm saying, I think we've gotten better out of possession, and you could see it. Right? We now can put that middle to low block and try defend for our lives.
No, because see, that's why I was trying to say to Paul that if you're Man City, you're like, this is what we wanted in terms of this is the first leg results we want, and we know we can do it in the second leg. So I get Paul's points of like, oh, Real Madrid, like, oh, we can beat the press. We match up well against them, and we know that we can now get good chances and so forth. But I think from Man City's point of view is, as you said, it's Bayern against Leipzig. This is what's one for the first leg, because the key thing is the result. Forget about the performance and so forth. The key thing is City can go up 3 or 4 gears. They know that they can play way better than they played. And it's the same thing against Leipzig and Bayern. They could play a lot better, but the key thing is that have a good result. So we're now coming to the second leg, open up. So the question is, and Smoke, this is now where the key thing is, are you sure that City will go up those 3-4 gears and really explode?
We
And
didn't
now
use
see
any
what's up?
subs because we weren't looking for the goal, right? So that's what people don't understand. We weren't looking for the goal. Whereas back home, right, listen, they nullified our plan, right? And Haaland, and shouts out to the centre-back pairing. And I think it's actually good because now Madrid have a decision to make. Do they bring back Militao or do they keep Rudiger? Because it's damned if you do and damned if you don't. Because if the thing is this, if Militao comes and you lose, you're gonna blame Ancelotti for removing Rudiger. But if you play Rudiger and you lose, you'll be like, why didn't you play our best centre back? So I think it's a good problem that they have, which they have to figure out.
So let me hit this quick dubs and then I'll come to Yas and everyone else. So Zoltan TV, Lep, I dare you, Vini and Camavinga superb. Oh no, they were amazing. I mean, Camavinga, I can't believe that guy's 20, bro.
I told you he was the best young talent.
Yeah, no, Paul, that guy's a player.
Dreams ago.
AJ, my AVI was being sports VAR of the ball going out. So wait, is this for the Vini goal?
For the Bruyne.
Even De Bruyne. Apparently, Bain Sports analyzed it on 3D. I don't know how trustful it is. I trust it. It's Bain Sports.
Arsene Wenger is there, man. Arsenal are losing the league. So what the hell?
But the ball was out.
So 14 new sales. It's a final at their crib. It's hard to beat a volleyball team in the box. We are still in this.
Come on. No. I have to say it, okay? Yeah, he gave it a hand, but it wasn't occupying.
Yeah.
Was it the Grealish one? Was it the Grealish?
Yeah, I think it was the Grealish one.
Yeah, it's not only that, but Valverde's touch was horrendous. Like that could have went out the stadium.
Bro, that was monstrous, man.
So Primera Marmots, man, very impressed with Madrid defensively. I still back them to go through. Look, it's finally poised. It is finally poised. I think basically it was a great game. It was a really good game. Your boy AJ, Vinny Claire of Mbappe,
Say his name.
Prodigy. No, we're not doing that. Living off 2018. Okay, thank you for that, AJ. Zeno, hold on. Man City has drawn all away legs this season 1-1. The plan was never to go there and win, in my opinion. This fixture is all moments. Also, that's Bernabeu pitch is big. No, look, yeah, I think that's my thing though is, but the key thing is that yes, it's your plan to be 1-1, but this is Real Madrid, and we know Real are that kind of team where they actually like to play away from home. So Real are not crib merchants. They're actually like road merchants. So, it works both ways. Obrigado, Brazil. Did we ever see the hand of Pep tonight? Does City have one other top 10 player in the squad next to maybe KDB? Pep is saved by KDB. That's it. Vinny, thank you. No, look, KDB, for me, that was clutch. But I expect City to play a lot better in the second leg because they did not play well. So I expect more from City in the second leg. So that's my thing.
Haaland to turn up.
Ariel, ethics Haaland always turn on. Same like Guardiola. Ethics Haaland. Oh, wow. Okay. Shout out to GG Ariel. Simon Singh, Real Madrid will regret not taking their chances. 1-1 suits City. Look, in my view, I feel that this result is perfect for Man City. Now, Real played well and they could have done better, but believe, I could be wrong, but I believe Real needed a win going into the Etihad. Yes, what are you saying, bro? What's this first leg?
I see it in both sides though. I think this tie is 50-50, HH. Because here's the thing. From my experience of watching the Champions League or watching Real Madrid are a very dangerous team when they're in the tie. They're very dangerous. When you beat Real Madrid, you have to beat Real Madrid. That's just the truth, Real Madrid. The fact that now is basically no away goals. You're going into a tie, the second leg, where it's just 0-0, and then it becomes a one game. Winner takes all. And we all seen what happens when Real Madrid are in a final. They don't lose. So I understand. I understand that people, Leipzig is not Real Madrid. Like, I don't know why people are comparing.
Thank you.
I don't know why people are comparing.
So because you're saying that City needed to beat Real Madrid in the first leg.
I think what City needed to do was establish their dominance and impose themselves. Because what I seen today was a psychological shift. I saw that, irrespective of what Don smokes and all the, I saw fear in Man City. Man City was respecting Real Madrid way too much, in my opinion. I saw things that I didn't expect. I saw Ilkay Gundogan couldn't play his game. I saw Grealish couldn't play his game. Bernardo Silva couldn't play his game. Haaland couldn't been found. I didn't. That was a bit of a shock for me. Real Madrid looked way too comfortable. I understand they're at home, but this is supposed to be the best team with a freak of a nature up top. This is supposed to be one of the most dominant team in Europe that did this. They destroy everyone. And I didn't see them impose their self against Real Madrid. Real Madrid will beat you, but they'll psych you out. Real Madrid will beat you psychologically. Like, they won't. People think they will beat you by football. No, they will beat you psychologically.
So which is true, and we all know how good this Real team are, and we all know their mentality. But don't you believe that City, who didn't? Okay, I hate this saying, but I'll say it's a bit of both. Real were very good. City were not really that good, and maybe I may swing the pendulum in the side of, like, let's give credit to Alaba and Rudiger, who were excellent defensively. But don't you believe that City can play a lot better and raise their level? Then it's like, okay, now can you now withstand a much better City in Gear 4?
True. I think that's true. We have seen it. But then the way you play always resides in the opposition. Sometimes the opposition won't allow you to play. And I think what Real Madrid did today is they nullified Man City in a way that I haven't seen any team nullify Man City. And especially in the turn of the year, and especially since they have picked up form. And you can say, yes, they can go up the gear, but when you play a game and you're respecting the opposition and you're fearful of the opposition about what they can do. Because what we expect is Manchester City will come in home, they will push, they will impose themselves, they will go attack. But then
but here's the thing that I think
so it's like, especially if you make a mistake in this tie, it could be
no. But you say impose yourself. This is a two-legged tie.
Yes.
We've been watching the UCL for freaking ages. We know that what the away team wants in the first leg is, at worst, a 1-goal deficit. But if you get a win, my lord, if you can get a draw, that's whatever happens. If you can come away with either a draw or a win, that's excellent coming into the second leg. So because you know that you're playing away from home, this isn't your ground. You know that the impetus and the pressure is on the home team to establish themselves. So maybe Real established themselves psychologically. Now we don't have to sit with the second leg, but the result is the result. The result is math. You cannot argue with math. It's 1-1.
No, I understand that, and you're right. But what I'm saying is, we have to be very careful how we analyze in this tie. It's not as simple as, they're going a home now. They're gonna be up for it. They're gonna be more attacking, all that stuff. Because Real Madrid are happy with that. Real Madrid are happy, like, sitting back, and they have the explosiveness with the Rodrigos and Vinny Jr. And if Man City knows that if they push too much, that they can't keep up, like literally, they're gonna get exploited. They're gonna exploit it in behind. They can't. So I'm not gonna lie to you. What I believe is gonna happen in the second leg will be similar to how this game went. It's gonna be a cagey affair. Man City might win it, but then I will be shocked if they win it more than one goal. That's just my opinion.
So let me come to your boy.
I'm gonna go HH.
Okay, go for it, Paul.
If you allow me, I just
go for it. Go for it, Paul.
I just want to say, thank you, Yasir, for saying that Leipzig is not Real Madrid, because apparently we are the same. Look, let's go to the facts. Leipzig was a massively much worse team than City, and City still managed to, in the first leg, make it close. Now you can, if you think Pep doesn't want to win first legs, okay. If you think Pep says, guys, let's not win, okay, let's not go with an advantage. Let's just draw. No, that isn't how it works. Pep is the most attacking-minded football in fucking football. I don't know how to talk. Pep is always gonna destroy you. If you've seen all his sides, he plays to make you 0-1, 0-2, 0-3, 0-4, and 0-10 if it's enough. I can absolutely assure you, it's not a strategy. It's just that this City team isn't that good in UCL. Because if you see the Bayern games, you've seen that Bayern didn't lose because City outclassed them. At least, in my opinion, for most part, it happened because of Upamecano Bouzogin. Because until Upamecano didn't start doing his things, both legs weren't that far. Okay? And Bayern did play good also in the second leg. So this notion of, Pep is drawing and then he's gonna play. Wait. Do you think City is going to score 7 goals against Madrid? Maybe with something historic. You know what? It's football. It can happen. I don't think so. You think Bayern Madrid is gonna have a Bouzogin, someone like Upamecano? So I think you still don't understand. You have not played against someone like Real Madrid, with all due respect, and Madrid hasn't played someone like City neither. But we have a much better base to try and go against these type of teams. That's why I was always confident. And again, it's a false confidence, and I think, not mine, but City fans thinking you're gonna be a good at the Etihad, because I can assure you, Madrid will play better in the Etihad.
Can I speak on this?
And clip this.
No. I'm on Twitch right now, and I'm just clip of that. There we go. Clip it.
Okay. And now after this clip, I just go. So
all right. Adios, amigo. Adios.
Peace.
And thank you, City fans, for having such a great team and making us play.
All right, so Shubdon, let me come to Vance and I'll come to you, Kenny. Vance and then Kenny.
Hey, Chich.
Go for it.
So again, right? I think after all the talk of Man City will come to the Bernabeu and dominate us, score 2-3 goals. I mean, most of the predictions in ESPN and other panels they were telling that it was a straightforward win. I mean, for City, at least by a goal, right? 2-1, 1-0. But Real Madrid is a different kettle of fish altogether. Right, and I'm so very disappointed that we didn't come up with a win tonight. Right, if you closely notice that Camavinga had got the ball and he tried to pass it centrally to Rodrigo, and Rodri nicked it off him, and that led to the goal. I was so disappointed after that happened. We should have won tonight, and I think the guys have covered most of it. Right, but another key thing, right, in the second leg. If you expect that, Man City can turn on the gears and go 1, 2, 3 levels up, you have not seen. I mean, Madrid can also do that attacking wise. When they want to attack, they will go all guns blazing. Right? Rodrigo, Vini, Benzema. I think he's at a stage where he can't play 2 games in a span of 3-4 days. I think the Copa del Rey final took a lot out of him, and I think he'll be rested this weekend. I think he should come back better for the second leg. And I believe that Real, if you see the first 20-30 minutes, they wanted to assess how Man City played, what they were all about, what they were trying to do. Then if they wanted to take it up a notch, they're capable of taking it up a notch. Whatever I said yesterday, right, all of those things happen. If they want to keep the ball, if they want to play 1-2s, they can do that, and we saw that today. And I think if Man City can go up a level or two, I think Madrid can go up a level or two, especially attacking wise, because the players on show, right? They're all very good on the ball, all very capable of creating attacking opportunities and converting them. And once again, I think Vinny Jr. is better footballer than Haaland.
100%, 100%.
I agree with you, HH. And one another important thing, right? Which I forgot what I wanted to tell,
think on it. It's coming.
Yeah,
it's coming to you.
Give me a sec. Yeah, that was that was one point which I wanted to allude to.
No, so with 1-1, you're still confident that you can go and beat them at the Etihad. So
Yeah,
you don't. So
yeah.
you're not disappointed that you didn't win at home.
No. As I said yesterday, 1-1 was a positive result for me. Even for me, right? And I got that point. I just remembered what I wanted to say. Right? So 1-1, you can say that City have the advantage. They'll easily take the title in their home, and they can easily get it done. But we got the confidence today. Even before the match, I was a little nervous. I wasn't sure how this Real Madrid defense can cope with the fluid football of Pep's Man City, how Rudiger will handle Haaland. There were doubts in even lots of Madridistas' minds. Even I was a little skeptical. But when I saw the performance, especially the defensive performance from Alaba, people were ridiculing that, okay, Rudiger will be given the responsibility to take on Haaland, and if Alaba is one-on-one, he can't cope up with Haaland's pace in behind, etc. But after seeing the performance today, even lots of Madrid fans are confident now that we can, contain City, even at the Etihad. So based on that base, I think we'll be confident at the Etihad. I think it's still a 50-50. I don't think anyone has an advantage, and it's going to be massive.
So let me
might go to penalties this one.
All right, nice. So let me come to Kenny and then take the rest of your dubs, guys. Kenny, talk to me.
Yeah, first of all, it was a nice game, very nice game. It was two good teams. They played well. But how do you call it? For me, I think that how do you call it? Man City, the first 20 minutes, they try and basically they were pressing quite hard, and Real Madrid was struggling to get out of their own half of the pitch. But half of the pitch. But then a couple times you saw Real Madrid got there. There was a couple, and then they were trying to pull, but when they were coming out, they could not find the Benzemas and the Vinicius. And then let's be real, when they scored the goal, that was probably one of the really first time where they go out properly, and then there was spacing behind. And then I think after that goal, Man City was like, cool, let's chill a bit. Let's not try to press them too much, because as the game went on, and obviously Man City, they were not pressing as much as they did in the first 20-25 minutes. So they was like, let's chill a bit, let's not press as high. So then that's when, after the goal and then beginning of the second half, Real Madrid, they had a bit more. Man City were not pressing as much. It was cool. So then Real Madrid started getting a bit more dominance in the game. But then Man City had themselves as well. They scored that goal. So for me, it was a close game.
So who do you give the advantage to going into the second leg?
For me, still Man City, because the thing is that for me, in these first 20 minutes, the 20-30 minutes, because they're going to press at home as well, and the way they pressed at the Bernabeu. So in the first 20 minutes, I think that if Man City can score a goal earlier, it's going to be better for them, because I think that if Real Madrid score first, I think it's going to be tough, because Real Madrid, if they score first, they're going to be like, cool, now Man City have to attack. Real Madrid at their best is when they have to counter attack teams. At their best, when you have Vini, you have Rodrigo, that's when they're at their best. So I think that if Man City can put that pressure on and then score the first goal, I think that they will probably win the game. But I think that Real Madrid, it's going to be a nice game.
So let me take some dubs, and I will come to RDS, Simon, and everyone else. So shout out to Martin Rosario. God bless corner prop betting. We're eating. All right. Thank you, Martin. Make sure that you give me a half of your innings as well. All right. So shout out to your boy Wisky Jackson. I'm hearing reports that Mr. Mansour had contract killers inside the VAR room to make sure they didn't go back to disallow KDB's goal. Check DMs. Oh, Wisky, give me a break. Give me a break. Now look at that. I don't know whether this is AI or Al. Hope you'll understand Madrid have multiple gears too. Oh no, 100%. Like, hence why it makes the second leg so much exciting, because both teams can get better. Artists, what are you saying after that first leg? RDS.
I mean, first of all, I missed my flight to Madrid. It was a bit annoying actually. So, but hopefully I'll get to take it next week. So, because
shouldn't it be Los Blancos or something?
Yeah, well, that's
Delta.
the thing.
Delta, you've not been here for like 3 years, and you sound like a robot. So, but it is what it is, though. Artists, keep going. Artists, keep
how? Well, I mean, I actually don't know how Delta is doing, considering what's happening at PSG.
Yeah, what a time to be back on the PSG.
Delta, look at Yasser, man. Look at Yasser, dude. You're bottling the top.
Delta,
four,
your
Brian.
mic is trash. Your mic sounds trash, man. God. Artists, continue, please.
So yeah, no, this was this is a very good game. This is what Champions League football should be. So this is a very, very good game, and clearly this is next week anyway. It's going to be the final. This is going to be the final. I don't think you're going to get the same quality final. Get a final with whichever Milan team gets through against this team. Whoever wins this game is winning the Champions League. So as far as I'm concerned, next week, that is the de facto Champions League final. I just don't see either Inter or Milan beating any of these two teams. As far as this game is concerned, I mean, I think that on the one hand, you can clearly see that this City team have evolved, that their approach was obviously a lot different. They paid a lot more respect to Madrid, I think, going this time around compared to when they were obviously at the Etihad last time, when they went all out, etc. But conversely, I think I forget the guy who was it Venax, I think?
Venks.
Sorry, beforehand about the fact that there were a lot of to be fair, I think it was a lot of the British media, to be fair. A lot of the British media was saying, like they always say, City have got this, they're playing really well, they're dominating, etc., and Real Madrid can't do it again. And then Real Madrid, obviously, the Vinicius goal was just absolutely fantastic.
Amazing.
Goal.
I mean, like, okay, now people have been sending me DMs. Apparently, they said this ball was out. I mean, I'll try and share it, but they said that this ball was out and so forth, and they didn't go back to check.
Yeah, I mean, okay, yes. Even whether it's in or out, at the end of the day, it's only one.
I know.
One fact to the thing. At the end of the game, probably deserved on the balance of play to be a draw anyway, because I think as we've said before, in the first half, I'd say the first half overall you give it to probably Manchester City, and the second half overall you probably give it to Real Madrid. So on the balance of play, it should have been a draw. I think going into the second leg, it's going to be interesting, so because I actually think if City actually come out and play more, that will give Madrid an advantage. I think at times, in a sense, that today they even wanted Madrid, City to come out and play a bit more, so they could come and counter-attack them with Vinny, etc., and go out.
No, I remember, but see, my thing though is that's why I think Benzema is so important. Because I think that's what I guess Vince's point. You had the Copa del Rey final and then this game. So maybe Benzema needs a rest on Saturday, because my thing is Benzema did look leggy. If Benzema is not at his best, I don't know how Real can win. But if Benzema comes out fresh and is at his best, then it's interesting.
The only thing I'll say is that, like, at the end of the day, it took two fantastic goals to obviously for there to be 2 goals. To keep it stacked, Haaland, who has been, City's go-to when it comes to the goals, scoring goals, was completely nullified today. Shout out to Rudiger. Rudiger did a fantastic job. I was actually surprised. I actually thought he might actually bottle it, but actually he did a very good job.
He was very good.
I've said several times that when Haaland comes against competent centre backs, he goes.
Here comes the Luke Shaw praise.
No. I'm not going to mention Shaw though. Like, it's a bit embarrassing in pocket to our left back. At centre back. So he will be our centre back in the final. By the way, just put that out. But I mean, in a sense, like when yes, okay, it's one thing when you're going against centre backs but when you're coming against competent, high professional, high stakes centre backs, if you don't have anything else to your game, you're going to struggle. And I think which is the difference between, say, a Haaland and, say, a prime Benzema, for example. So it is going to be interesting going into the second leg when this is where if I do think that if Real Madrid can neutralize Haaland, I think that does give them a chance, because I don't see. I could be wrong here, and maybe the City fans will just sort of disagree, but City have this season generally have relied on Haaland for lots of their goals. And I do think that if they do neutralize him, I'm not saying he can't score additional goals.
Yes, no. You can't go that far, because you've got Alvarez, and look at what KDB did.
I know.
Because see, I feel that if you stop Haaland, it doesn't mean that City can't function, because they have so many other goal scoring options.
I'm not saying City can't.
Yes, in a way, you can see Haaland sometimes as a decoy. If you nullify him, he turns into a decoy.
I'm not.
Because then you've got other players that can actually attack as well.
I'm not saying City can function, but when you combine that with the fact that City aren't going to play like they did against Madrid now, where they were playing somewhat more conservative. They're going to have to come out to play. So personally, for me, I think that does give Madrid room, because they want you to come out to play. They're effectively a counter-attacking team. They want you to come to the ball. They want to press. They want to go out, and the pressure is going to be on Manchester City to be able to respond to that. Given City what happened last season. So, but that said, as far as I can't call this, it could go either way.
So don't give anyone the edge.
I don't give anyone the edge, but at the same time, you can't. I give Madrid the edge slightly, fundamentally because of experience
and the fear of the treble,
No, not the fear of the treble. It's not the fear. It has nothing to do with the fear of the treble. It's that, like as Yassi actually mentioned, is a fair point. Whatever is with football, psychology is a part of football. Because I think that, let's say if City score first, I don't count out Madrid, for example. I think that Madrid could potentially get a goal. It could get a second, whatever. Now, if Real Madrid score first, I don't necessarily think that City there's a possibility that they could crumble. I don't necessarily think that they have the same elite mentality that Real Madrid have if both sides go down, which is why I would give the advantage to Madrid slightly. As what happened last season. But sorry.
Let me come to Nomad, then Zima. Nomad, talk to me, bro.
Yeah, it was a decent game, but I think I think we should have won the game, actually. But I think the biggest disappointment was Cruz at number 6. I mean, he's still not comfortable at that position, and because of that, both Modric and Valverde couldn't do their job. Modric was slightly better because he could, connect with Camavinga and Vinicius, but Valverde was not good today. He was not good enough. Valverde was not good enough. And see, this is what happens, because I think Tchouaméni should have started, instead of Cruz at number 6. Because if you want to play Cruz and Modric, both of them together, you need a proper defensive number 6 behind them.
Was Tchouaméni fit?
Tchouaméni was fit, but I think we would have lost all control without Cruz. I think he was one of the best players.
But if we would have started Tchouaméni, then Valverde could have done his job better, and then because of him, even Rodrigo, who was largely invisible, he could have done his job better as well. And both Valverde behind him and Rodrigo besides him, doing their jobs better, would have helped Benzema in turn as well. So it's a cascading effect. Having a proper number 6, everything starts from the back, and that's the reason. And as for Militao, if Militao has to play in the next leg, I think it should be Rudiger, partnering him, and not Alaba, because Rudiger, in spite of playing, in a position which he doesn't favor, he likes to play on the left-hand side of the defense. But even then, he proved that, he could do his job. He's a good enough, and that's why I think he should be rewarded by playing him in his natural position on the left-hand side of the defense, because then he gives a better defensive output than Alaba, and that would help Camavinga even more at the Etihad. And again, it starts a cascading effect. So I think Tchouaméni should start. Rudiger should partner Militao, and then we could see Benzema and Rodrigo, being involved in the game much more.
So are you still with 1-1? Are you confident that you can go out and beat them at City? Like from what you've seen, are you still confident despite you not winning the home leg?
Yeah, because we don't really have that handicap of playing at away grounds. We can beat anyone at anywhere. We don't have that we've never had that handicap actually. So yeah, I don't think, and this Real Madrid side, especially under Ancelotti, has been molded on mentality and on absorbing pressure. So I think the whole crowd, the whole atmosphere, and Man City coming at them at full pace, I think would actually help them, because it's essentially a counter-attacking side. So I think the test would be for Manchester City. Can they still, practice some patience and some strategic play, and not jump the gun? Because you give this time they were able to keep Rodrigo quiet, but people forget even he's on good form, and it was only due to Valverde not being up to mark that he wasn't. Both him and Benzema weren't able to do more, but that could change next fixture. We don't know what the midfield could be. It could be Tchouaméni, Kroos, Valverde. It could be Kroos and Modric playing ahead of Tchouaméni. But Kroos at number 6 doesn't work for me. It just doesn't work, and I hope that doesn't happen at the end.
You know what's shocking though?
Wait, hold on. Let me come to Zeman. Let me come to Zeman. Everyone's talking. So Zeman,
how's my mic right now?
Perfect. You sound like a human being. Now. Zeman, talk to me.
Yeah. So what you laughing about, boy? No, go ahead, Zeman. Go ahead.
What is this? No, I was
Zeman,
about to say.
I don't like that picture, bro. You gotta change it, bro.
It's been here for a while, bro. I even forgot to change it. But about this game, man, I actually thought Kroos had a good game. If I'm being honest, I thought the opposite. I thought he was one of your best. I thought he was one of Real Madrid's best players when it came to his positional awareness. I thought he was giving you guys solidity, like amongst your midfielders. But that whole thing of starting Kroos and Modric, I don't think those pairings work that much. I think it should be Tchouaméni along with them. But then again, Tchouaméni still needs to pick up form. When it comes to the offense, I thought it was just Vinny Jr., bro. Benzema wasn't helping him one bit, bro. But Benzema was making it more difficult to find him, more so than anything.
I mean, but Zeman, because I agree with you, but as Venks just said, do you think it's a case of Copa del Rey final was so soon that if he's now rested for the weekend game, he should be better and fresher? Because I agree with you, Benzema has to be a factor. It was only Vinny in that attack.
Yeah, I think
Rodrigo in moments as well.
Yeah, I think the whole aspect to stopping Real Madrid from Pep's standpoint was probably just to stop Vinny and cutting them in terms of supplies. And they did that well, and you could say, Benzema could still step up in terms of his game performance. I thought Rodrigo, he didn't have that much of a great half, but as soon as the game opened up, you saw Kanji getting exposed more, especially with Valverde pairing up and just destroying him on the flank. But at the same time, Grealish was useless. I mean, this is Carvajal is the type of defender you want to go at constantly, test him. But I didn't feel like he was testing him. I felt like this guy was cutting in, trying to go central, which Man City didn't really have any central play at all. These guys weren't necessarily supplying with anything. As much as KDB scored a goal, I thought KDB didn't have a good game.
Yeah, no.
That goal,
but he had a key moment.
Yeah,
he didn't have a good game, but all he did is the moments. Yeah, clutch moment.
Yeah, he had a clutch moment, and Haaland. We already know his limitations. We're not shocked. Nobody's shocked by his limitations. He's not the most techie player.
Didn't you say he was the best in the world?
I was told he was the best player in the world.
No,
yeah, Zeman said. I think Zeman was saying that.
I say he's one of the best goal scorers in the game of service, man. But in terms of performance, Gundogan didn't perform well. I thought Rodri was actually he's performing horrible, bro. Some of his passes were short. Some of his decision making wasn't good. I mean, they almost created a chance because of him to trying to pass it back to Walker, and then they almost it got cut off that Vinny pass to Benzema. But I think into the second leg, Listen, man, if they end up going, if they end up trying to make Real Madrid into momentum merchants, moment merchants, that's when they shine. I mean, if they're going in with that type of tactic,
So
they're going to lose.
so then how do they not make the momentum more? So what do they do? Sit back, attack them, press them high?
Yeah, conservative, and replace Jack Grealish with an actual person that can actually go inside.
Oh, hold on. So you're saying that City shouldn't go all out in the second leg, that they should be still conservative and just hold the ball and be patient?
Yeah. I think that's their best route. Because as soon as you open up, you're giving more chances and more spaces to players that are dangerous, like Rodrigo or even a Benzema when he's actually on form.
Yeah.
But in terms of midfield battle, I think they're going to always have that. The thing is, you have to just stay conservative. I thought this game they would actually try to go out and score a goal in the first half and actually try to give it to them, but they didn't. They were almost afraid, or they were just too conservative in the first leg, to the point where they weren't creating any chances and they weren't finding Haaland, and none of their midfielders or even their flank play was working. It wasn't working. I thought Camavinga was an outstanding performer. I don't understand how KDB won man of the match. I understand he scored a goal, but if you're going to give it to man of the match,
Zeman, do you know what an industry plant is? That is the definition of an industry plant. So it is what it is. You don't need to ask questions.
Yeah, because I thought man of the match was going to go to Vinny or Camavinga. Throughout the whole
the man of the match was either Vinny or Camavinga. KDB winning that is just because he's an industry plant. So yeah. So
no, it is.
Can I ask you this though? Can I ask you this? Does the pressure of Carlo Ancelotti's job, the notion that he will be sacked if he doesn't win the Champions League, does that benefit Real Madrid?
Real will be Real. You can't use us as that's like an extra motivational factor of like, oh my gosh, we have to win to keep Carlo in the job. I think regardless of that, Real are just going to still have the same psychology or mentality coming into the use of like, we are here and we are built to win this competition.
No. My point is, when you look at both teams, I don't think there's any ramification if City loses.
Yes, there is. Yes, there is. No, because
I agree.
Because City, because every year that goes by, and every time that City spends so much money and they don't win, you see there's more pressure. And also, remember, this crew, the defending champions, they've already won already. They've already got their dub. City, they're like, look at how many points you've won. Look at how you've gentrified the Premier League. So they're saying that you're actually embarrassing and disgracing the Premier League by gentrifying it and never winning the UCL. So there's more pressure on Man City.
Z-Man and I want a WAP stream, so he's got to
we need a WAP stream.
It's a web stream.
Web.
Okay, all right. Sorry, so Z-Man, finish your point and I'll come to Guled next.
I still stand by my prediction in the first half. In the first half space, I still think that.
So Z-Man, can you just say what he said in that halftime space? Just repeat. So that's City are done. They're finished. Real Madrid have that their heads.
D-Man,
they're inside their head, man.
Don't full his tricks.
They're inside the head. I know what you're trying to do. I know you're trying to do reverse juju. I don't understand why you're trying to do that I get it for Man City. I actually get it because it's for Pep and whatnot. Because Uncle Moo, you're trying to save him, but
no. Okay, like I know you won't believe me and so forth. This is not a reverse jinx. This tie is finally poised, but I feel that Real not winning that first leg, I feel City, like, it's going to be fine matches. I just think City just have that edge.
I agree with you, Double L. I agree.
It's
I have a question.
Yes.
So if Real Madrid had the same result, if Real Madrid were playing the first leg at the Etihad, right, and were confident of coming to the Bernabeu and getting a result, don't you think they will be more confident of going to the second leg to the Etihad on equal terms, the players and the manager?
So you're saying that if
which result would you take? I mean, last year's first leg result or this year's first leg result as a Real Madrid player?
No. If you're Real Madrid, I think you're confident both ways because Real Madrid are not reliant on their home stadium. This isn't like Barcelona or Liverpool where if you come to Anfield or the Camp Nou, we know that we can beat anyone here. Real Madrid are like home or away. It's cool. And here's the thing. I think for Real Madrid, I think they probably play a lot better from the Bernabeu rather than at home. So, you see, it's very complicated one. Basically, it's weird. Real Madrid are that kind of a team that they didn't have to win this game. if they had won this game, I thought it would be a really big advantage. But the fact that they didn't lose, it was a draw, and look at how the game went, it makes the second leg, because look, the second leg now is whoever wins. Basically, whoever wins goes through. There's no like 2-2 draw, 3-2 draw. So it's like, may the best team win. This is a stadium, this is the pitch, may the best team win. So, and as good as the Etihad isn't Camp Nou or Anfield. It's not really a fortress. They're just really, really good there. So
Camp Nou is finished now, but
and we saw what happened at Camp Nou and at Anfield this year.
Well, to be fair, you're facing against a team that had 5 injuries. So
no, don't give me that injury tax. Don't give me that injury tax. Wait, hold on. Let me get some Dubinsky. Shout out to your boy. What's good to say? Did Venks eliminate Eric at the White Gates? Do we have a new receptionist? Or basically just the white background that basically thinks that you're like basically much in heaven based on how white your background is. Where's good Jackson again? Ready, set, go, aka Rodrigo deserves more respect. What? What's that supposed to mean? As in what? He's an athlete? Come on, why is good? Give me a break, man. AJ, the one stream PSG returns is a UCL stream. Nah, that's all. Because PSG, I don't even know what you're doing here, bro. Like your team.
I'm just here trying to tune in, man. I'm just here.
Okay, cool. Thank you. Shout out to your boy Adams, man. Thank you for the dub, Adams. City fans talking about home advantage in the second leg as if Madrid care about a home. They will come into your house, take your food, take your gyal and yam your missus on your matrimonial bed. Oh wow. Damn, that got very graphic. Jesus. All right. No, look, but Adams is right though. Like,
shout out to Courtois, bro.
It's like my thing. That's Real Madrid. Look at what Real did to Liverpool at Anfield. That was at freaking Anfield. So Real.
I'm trying to get the feeling that Anfield is overrated, bro. And the Liverpool team is ass too.
Ricardo, corner taken quickly. Mute your mic. Corner taken quickly. Mute your mic. So mute your mic and drink your egg yolk or whatever that's yellow substances that you're drinking. So no, but look. I think that, oranges, like Real Madrid, I feel, look, it's going to be interesting. Like, look, I think this is almost the perfect result. As much as I hate away goals, being removed, I think this makes things perfect because now whoever wins goes through. Whoever wins goes through. So 2-2, 3-3, we keep playing. 4-4, we keep playing. So it's like the best thing win. Wait, let me come to Delta. Delta, Antonio, then Guled. Delta, talk to me.
Yeah, man, it was an interesting game. It's the first CL game I've watched ever since that disaster in the round 16. It was good. It was good. I do feel like the leg is over because, to be honest, HH, Real Madrid played at the City ground last year and they did lose. And if you look at all the City matches away in the Champions League at Bayern Munich, they weren't great. And in the round 16, who did they play? RB, what was that team? RB Leipzig?
Leipzig.
Yeah, Leipzig. They weren't that great either. So it's very hard to see HH at their home ground. Manchester City won't go through in front of their fans. I think it's gonna be 2-1.
Here we go, man.
No, look, Z-Man, listen. I think City will win 2-1, and Holland will show up this time. He doesn't really show up in the away games, but he does show up in the home games. I think Holland will score a goal, and it's probably gonna be Rodri or KDB scoring another one, and Vinicius.
Congratulations to Real Madrid on the Champions League.
No, listen, Ricardo. I know how you guys feel about Real Madrid. City have been dominating the first half for like 30 minutes, and Vinicius out of nowhere just scored an incredible goal. Props to him. But I just feel like it's a bit too much now. I feel like City at home. I don't see any team in the world. Look, HH, when it comes to the Champions League, I wouldn't favor any team against Real Madrid, bar maybe City and Barcelona. I feel like Barcelona is a really bad matchup stylistically against Real Madrid. Real Madrid just have a hard time playing against Barcelona. And I would say Manchester City comes second. And to be honest, it could go to penalties, but I just can't see them lose. I can't see them lose.
So you can't see who losing?
I can't see Manchester City lose at their own home ground. I don't see a scenario with that.
Okay. Antonio talks, but then I'll come to you, Guled. Antonio.
Yeah. Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, no, overall, I want to say for me, I was very impressed with Madrid, and I although the score is 1-1, I think they do have a slight advantage going into this next game. And for me, the reason is looking at what happened last year over 2 legs. I mean, I think most people will agree that Man City was the better team, definitively for both games away and home up until the end of that away leg. That Man City was better than Real Madrid. Today, in my opinion, Real Madrid was better than Man City. And I know it's 1-1, but I thought that the individual quality of some of Real Madrid's players outshined, the sort of slow team approach that Man City had. I think they were a little bit, too many people just didn't perform. KDB wasn't that good besides that goal. So big clutch goal, good for him. I've always said he's a good player, so I'm happy he scored in this game. But overall, his crosses were poor, and Bernardo Silva didn't really show up. Other players didn't show up. So I wasn't impressed with Man City. And this is a team that, when I hear their fans talk, it's like they'll always say, my team, Man City, is going to can smash your team, can smash all of these teams. They're by far the best team. So I'm expecting good, big things from them. And I didn't see that today. And I saw that Real Madrid seems to have approached this better than they did last year, at least from the way that they're playing. So I think this was a very good result for Real Madrid. And we can say, of course, City is, going to still be the favorites. And I'm not saying that Real Madrid have won, but I'm saying that Real Madrid are probably feeling very good about themselves. I want to address the whole thing about, Man City didn't want to, they wanted to be conservative. They didn't want to go all out. I mean, that is a fair point. You can be a conservative, you can in your tactics. At the same time, though, like, why does that prevent you from making substitutions? Like, I agree with the point made earlier about like how questioning Pep for not making subs. You don't have, just because you want to be conservative doesn't mean that you don't want to try to make changes if your players are just not performing. I think that Haaland was basically he contributed practically zero to this game. Try Alvarez, try someone else. Mahrez was, in my opinion, has some of the best individual quality. Try putting him on. I'm not saying you have to go and up your press and try to win the ball back, but at least give them a chance to try to hit on the counter and exploit Real Madrid's defense in a different way. I mean, I don't buy that narrative of not making substitutions as a strategy. And I will say that Pep should consider playing some of these players in the next leg if it's not going well or if they haven't broken through Real Madrid's defense, because today Haaland was read perfectly. And I think, everyone's saying that City have improved more, and the main reason is because of Erling Haaland. And today we didn't see Erling Haaland lead to that improvement. Well, I think Real Madrid, in terms of, maybe the growth of some of their younger players, Vinny got better, Camavinga got better, other players got better, although they did get older, Modric and other players. But I think the younger players' growth led to more improvement on the pitch today than getting Erling Haaland, and all of that whole debate conversation. So I think that they need to explore maybe looking for changes next game. Of course, start Haaland. He's fantastic. But, you have to consider that. You have to be critical of Pep a little bit because we expect big things. But overall, I think it was a very, very interesting game, and I'm excited for the second leg.
Good. Talk to me, bro.
Hey, can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Could hear you. I mean, you sound like a mouse boy. I could hear you.
Yeah, big up to you guys. Man, what a game, HH, man. I mean, this is the reason why we love Champions League.
Yeah.
It was literally, if you look at the overview of the game, it was the Catenaccio football against the tiki-taka football. Literally, it was a defensive masterclass against the passing masterclass. And just to answer to Antonio's question before I go in, I think the reason why Pep doesn't make as much subs is because he's very meticulous to the point that he doesn't want to mess up with the tempo of the game. So he's thinking, if I take out a player, there'll be an issue with the tempo of Man City's transition. And that might take 10 to 15 minutes for the player to catch up with the tempo. He's a bit crazy like that.
Yeah, and also, I think it's the first leg.
Yes.
So there is a second leg to go. So in your view, because remember, you're not playing a 90 minutes game, you're playing a 180 minutes game. So it's like, okay, As long as we don't lose, we catch something, we got ourselves into the goal, then we can now open up and do all the changes and so forth. The second leg. So we have to remember it is a much larger pie. Like people are thinking that this is the be all and end of the whole tie. There is still another 90 minutes game to come through. Hence why it is still finally poised.
Absolutely, AJ. I'm very glad with what Carlo Ancelotti did. Even though Nomad was saying, why does Cruz play a number 6? If you look at the majority of the game, when Real Madrid were defending, they were playing 5-2-3. Toni Kroos was actually dropping as a defender. He was playing in the middle of Alaba and Rudiger. And I don't think if Tchouaméni played today, he would have the defensive know-how to fall back into that position. That comes with experience and winning the Champions League over and over again. And in terms of Pep, I think this is the first time that he had this much possession in the Bernabeu. Not only Pep, I think in the Champions League, this is the first time that Real Madrid had 40-something% possession the whole game.
Oh.
I think the only Madrid team that does that in the Champions League is, with all due respect, Simeone and Atletico Madrid.
Mm-hmm.
So Pep was very smart with the fact that he played, even though he played a 3-2-2-3 HH with the box in the middle, where Stones was becoming a double pivot with Rodri. The issue with Real Madrid was when Toni Kroos dropped back, there was only Modric and Valverde in the middle. This is why they couldn't get to the ball. And even sometimes Modric had to go to the left to double up with Camavinga because De Bruyne was pushing to the right to help out Silva. So I believe what Ancelotti did today was an amazing tactical masterclass. It's like he closed down all the avenues for Pep's transitions to be completed. This is why every time they were looking for that last pass, they had to move back and start all over again. And when Real Madrid attacked, they played a 3-4-3. So there was 3 defenders. Carvajal became the 3rd defender, and then Camavinga became the 4th midfielder. I mean, it was an amazing game, HH. And kudos to Real Madrid. I was actually surprised with the technicality of that game.
Let me just hit this. So shout out to boy. So I put this on PSG Delta getting a red on his return. Well, I think maybe it's been much more calm. So I want to really circle back again. So see, my thing I think I can't wait for that second leg. But Ricardo, do you still view this whole tie as it can go either way? Do you edge it to someone really? Because I'm just looking at some comments here. Okay, look, maybe things have changed, but I thought that. Now, I know that this isn't the same, but if you are playing home and away, in my home tie, I have to win. Okay, you don't really have to win, but you should really win. That's how it goes. Now, football is much more complicated like that, and Real know that, okay, we didn't win, now we now have to play at a much higher level because we know that it's only a 1-1 and so forth. But I think that if you're Man City, you have to be happy because as well as Real played, as much as they really put them under pressure, it's 1-1. Yeah. And we've seen several UCL ties where the first leg is one way, the second leg is another way. Last year, first leg, City had 3 billion chances, but they couldn't put them away. Second leg, it was much more of a conservative approach from City, and I think it was a lot tighter in the second leg. So we have seen several ties, and even this tie, City Real Madrid, where City were one way in one leg, they were another way. So again, is this really that good of a result for Real Madrid, or do you feel like Real have shown enough that come the Etihad, even if City raise their level, Real can even raise their level, even has basically Real can match City raising their level as well?
I think it's a bit different, the situation, because the more I think about it, I initially said that when we look at last season's tie, forget that Man City played better. The fact that they had more than enough chances to kill off the game in the first leg, and then apart from that, they had enough chances in the second game to win it on that alone. But this is a different Real Madrid team in terms of Vinicius is better, Rodrigo is better. He's actually playing more in the starting role. He's not just coming off the bench. Camavinga as well. Camavinga's actually playing. This is the whole team in general. They have a winner's mentality at least for the guys who've never won before. Guys like Benzema, Kroos, Modric, like those guys, Carvajal, those guys are serial winners. The rest of the guys weren't. Maybe Alaba as well, but the guys who haven't won, they now won, so they know what it takes. They know how to, dig deep and grind the result out. I personally think that the team that scores first is the team that's going to win. I think because if Real Madrid score, they're going to close up shop like they did in the first leg. Man City's going to have to go for it, and that only leaves that only leaves Real Madrid's like their personnel to pretty much just play their game and do what they do best.
So you don't see a scenario. Remember, there are no away goals. You don't see a scenario of it being 1-1 or 2-2 on the night, and we're going to extra time, possibly penalties.
Possibly, because I think the closer it gets to the final whistle, tensions get higher. Less teams want to risk things more. So I think it's something that's going to be dragged out to extra time. This whole like new format of the way of the aggregate has actually we haven't even seen any penalties, like as far as I'm aware. Like penalties are super rare. But going back to my point, if Man City score, then that's going to force Real Madrid's hand. And I think that the worst case scenario in any football game is if Pep Guardiola's team scores first.
Oh yeah. Then they keep hold of the ball. Yeah, that is the perfect scenario for them.
Not only do they hold the ball, they know you're going to get desperate. You're going to leave spaces, and they're just going to pick you apart slowly. The game naturally comes to them, and they win. So I think the game is more so that whoever scores first. I do think Real Madrid do have a genuine chance, because when I'm looking at, we're talking about serial winners, a club that's known for winning versus a club who's trying to figure it out, and none of these guys are nothing but a bunch of league merchants. Now, if Real Madrid do pull it off and they do win, and the great Earl of Norway, first of his name, Haaland drops another disaster class.
Which he wants. I think he'll get it. Okay.
We need to induct the entire Premier League, because there's no way this guy cannot score against third place in La Liga.
Ricardo, my prince just got coronated. Are you really going to say this? Are you going to speak on my prince like this?
Okay, look, first of all, forget about the prince. The king is only going to last maybe like 30 days before we have to have another coronation. Look, we need to have serious conversation, because as far as I'm aware, those 35 goals he's scored in England, they don't count. They don't mean nothing. I'm sorry. This is trouble. This is treble season. This is trebles in the house. This is what WAP stream is pending. They got to do it. They got to do it. There's no. Sorry, you have to induct the Premier League.
So Venks. So again, are you still? So you're still confident? I mean, so do you agree with Ricardo in the sense of whoever scores first wins, or do you think like whoever scores first, it doesn't really matter? This could potentially go all the way because of no away goals. So we could see like a 2-2 or even another 1-1.
I don't think that matters, because the whole point when we say that if City score first and they can keep the ball and they can frustrate the opponent, I don't think that works. Even last time when they had a 2-goal lead, we were dominating the ball for the last 15 minutes. Right? That's why I'm saying it won't matter. Even if Real score first, I think Man City can come back. If Man City score first, even we can come back. I have a funny feeling that this will go down to the wire. I think this might get decided during the final minutes in normal time, or it go to extra time, or it can go to penalties. So I think it's 50-50, anything goes. And who's Man City playing this weekend? I mean, can Pep rest most of his players? Or
who is it? Well, let me check.
Relegation Everton.
Because
I think
Everton
they survived relegation. They actually just survived relegation.
No, Everton might get sliced or diced, man.
Yeah, no. So basically, you could potentially rest guys for that game. Look, they'll destroy Everton. Like they'll destroy Everton, man.
Everton beat Brighton 5-1.
They pull off the performance of the season.
So look, Smoke, same thing to you again. So do you think that, as Ricardo was saying, he says that whoever scores first will potentially win the game? Do you feel that if you guys score first and Real have to come out, you can pretty much handle that game and it will be in your power? So if you score first, then it's a great chance that you end up winning the game. Or you think who scores first doesn't really matter?
No, but HH, you see, this is the thing which I don't understand. The last time Madrid beat us at the Etihad, I think it was Pellegrini in charge. Right?
Pellegrini?
The only time, yes, that's the last time they beat us at the Etihad.
Shout out to
Yes, yes, it's true. Pellegrini.
Yes.
Yeah,
So
I think that's true.
they've HH, even all the games we've been knocked out in the CL, we haven't lost at the Etihad. When Tottenham knocked us off, we beat them. We lost on away goals because we lost. When Monaco beat us, we lost on away goals because we lost at their crib. We haven't lost here for 5 years. HH.
So then we're looking at a 2-2 penalties.
No, we're not going to penalties. We will beat them in 90 minutes. HH.
Wow,
the thing is,
90.
No, HH. Listen to what I've said. All our games this season in the Champions League, we've drawn away. All the games, even in the group stages. I think the only team we beat was Sevilla, 4-0. Everyone else, even the bums, even Club Brugge, we drew with them. We normally win at home. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, but don't smoke. This is Madrid.
We don't, but we beat Madrid last season at home. So all this, the thing is this, HH, had the ties been reversed and we drew at the Etihad 1-1, then I would be disappointed because now we're going to the Bernabeu, right? So people are looking at it that no, the difference is the fixtures have been reversed. And it's got nothing to do with that. No, our home crowd will silence Madrid. No, our players perform better at home. Whenever we play at home, those nerves don't affect us. That's all I'm saying. It's more of how we perform rather than how the other team performs. That's what I'm saying. At the Etihad, even Haaland, most of his goals, his hat tricks, they've all been at home. That's what I'm saying.
So basically, so we're expecting like a 4-1 then. That's what you're trying to tell me, 4-1.
No, I don't think it will be that bad because at the end of the day, we saw today that Madrid is actually, they've gone better, right? And
yes, especially Vinny.
Forget Vinny, not just Vinny. Camavinga as well. Hats off to him.
Yes,
right. I think Carvajal he's not good offensively, but defensively he knows how to do his job, right? I'm not saying we're gonna blast them up, but I'm saying we're gonna get over the line. It could be a 2-1, 3-2, whichever you put it, but we will beat them on the night.
So let me come to Abdul and then we'll round off. So Abdul, talk to me real briefly. Thoughts on the first leg.
He was trying to jinx Real Madrid today. I saw you see,
bro. I'm actually very surprised by Real Madrid's ability to raise the game, bro, because it's today coming into this game, I didn't know what to predict because if you judge Real Madrid by their form in Spain, this should have been no competition. But these guys, they managed to raise their game to a very high level every time they meet somebody of a very high level. So I think based on today, the thing that surprised me the most was how quiet Haaland was kept. Because like it or not, I know people, they bring up this whole he needs service. But the narrative going into this game was Haaland and City versus Real Madrid. It was Haaland. I even saw titles like being like on BT saying Haaland versus Real Madrid. And I've seen this guy being put in great conversations. He'll never be a great if you're reliant upon service. Because every great player could create for himself. Every great player could pick up the ball and do something special with it.
These dudes, all these dudes behind me. Yeah.
Well, that's not true. What about Dixie? I mean,
okay, Ziman.
What about Jimmy Jones?
All right.
Yeah,
So Abdul, continue. Abdul doesn't know.
Gert Muller, man. What about those guys?
Yeah. So I just want to say this guy can stat pad 700 goals in the EPL. I don't care. I'll never call him a great. I'll never call him a great because of games like today, where it's funny because people say, "Oh, Rudiger pocketed him," but Rudiger's not even been good for Real Madrid this season, bro. Like he really, like I genuinely thought they was gonna get exposed today because Militao was going to be replaced by Rudiger.
Rudiger is a
Respect Rudiger, Abdul. Respect Rudiger.
Bro,
yeah, respect to UCL winner, man. Abdul, respect to UCL winner, man.
He's been a clown this season.
Respect to UCL winner.
But that's the thing. Like you have to respect it because he elevated his game today, bro. Because I don't know if you've seen this guy, like against Almeria, he was getting exposed. So, it's funny how they raised the game. I just want to say on the Etihad game, Don Smoke can bring up all his records. All his records. You've never played Real Madrid in the second leg at the Etihad, bro. So you've never played in the second leg at the Etihad. So
we beat them. We beat them the first leg. That's when Varane, Jesus Varane.
Second legs, bro. First leg, you beat them with them knowing that they have to take it back to the Bernabeu. You beat them knowing. So honestly, I think it's up in the air.
We won at the Bernabeu, and then
He's talking about the COVID season.
COVID season. Varane. Remember the Varane disaster.
That doesn't count. No, actually, that doesn't count.
Okay, then I have no response to that. I mean,
no. That's COVID.
Wait, round off.
I just want to round off by saying, honestly, bro, like this City team is so overrated. This City team is so overrated. Like, I honestly, I was seeing people comparing it to Pep's 09 team. That I seen people saying. And by the way, Jack Grealish, nobody's gonna talk about him today. So where was Jack Grealish? Because I've been seeing a lot of people hyping this Gucci.
It was trash.
Because people, they started rating him again because he tracked back.
Look for him in Carvajal's pocket
at the Etihad. That's why people started rating him again. Freaking fraud.
Big match, Carvajal yet again.
Yeah, man, Carvajal, he put him in a blender, man. So hold on, let me take this last two doors, man. Obrigado, Brazil. We are at points to say Real Madrid is the best club in the world either way. They didn't need Ronaldo, Ramos, Marcelo, or Casemiro. Heritage. No, look. Real proved last year that whole Cristiano narrative was trash. Shout out to Cristiano who did his story in Saudi Arabia. Also, because I'm just sorry, Chris, please, Messi, don't get a 400 mil move to Al Hilal, because if you do that, Cristiano will spontaneously combust.
600 million.
Don't let's keep it with 400. Let's keep it 400 because then Messi has not beaten you in every aspect. So let's just put that one side. But look, we all know that's Real. My thing though is Real. Why are you greedy? You already punked all of us last season. You basically gentrified Prince Charles last season. You beat all of Prince Charles and 3 horsemen last season already. So here's the thing: if Real gets the final, you're saying that they would have beaten the 3 EPL teams yet again. Do you know how effed up that is? Come on.
You know what's crazy? The English pundit was still they will still favor English teams next year against Real, bro.
I know, because they're mad. Because they're mad. English Talents Plus. Abdul's right. Messi delivered at Anfield. # is that a pigeon? Stats pad. #.
You know what it is? Like, Messi was 33 there, bro. Like, judge him in his prime, bro.
Yeah,
no, he actually creates some chances. Unlike
he has. So guys, remember, tomorrow is the Milan derby. AC Milan against Inter Milan. Again, all I'm saying that all I want is a Lukaku masterclass. That's all I want. All I want is a Lukaku masterclass.
So we're going with Inter. We're Inter FC then.
Peace out, stay true, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. One love. Peace.